is make or break night for Wales in the Nations League. Only a win will do. Anywhere will do for Wales. Oh, it's in! It's 1-0. Good first touch. Big Morgan. Can she beat Clark? She can. That is a fantastic finish. And they've got a mountain to climb. It's a better delivery to Hughes. And it's in. But it's too little, too late. And that will seal Wales' relegation.
This campaign has been a brutal learning curve.
Well, I hope you're over the disappointment of Friday night. Nations League relegation confirmed after defeat to Iceland. But tonight in Swansea, Wales go again with manager Gemma Granger eager to finish the campaign on a high against two-time world champions and eight-time European champions, Germany. Playing for pride, promising a performance. Tonight, it's not about points, but progression. And this is why Wales are without a win in 5 of this competition, bottom of the table and unable to catch Iceland in 3rd. But look at the top half. Germany, tonight's opponents, are in the driving seat to win the group, but equal on points with Denmark, who take on Iceland. The Germans will be going for a win tonight, so Wales know they'll need to be at their best to compete. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the Swansea.com Stadium, where the search for a new head coach is well and truly on after the departure of Michael Duff last night. But tonight, it's all about country and not club, with Wales aiming to finish this Nations League campaign on a positive note. Look who I've found. Here they are, all 3 of them. Gwenan Harris, Katie Sherwood, Helen Ward. Good to see you all. And Helen, I'm just wondering how we're feeling after Friday night now. Is there still that sense of frustration that we maybe haven't managed to make the mark we wanted to in this campaign?
Yeah, certainly. I think when the draw was made, it was always going to be a difficult task. It's a difficult league to play in. And I think obviously the intention would have been to stay there. It would have been nice to have made our mark, like you said, but unfortunately we haven't quite had that cutting edge to be able to do that. But tonight is a new game. It's an opportunity to play for your country, and you can never take that for granted, and an opportunity to go and test yourself against one of the world's best. So, you know, they'll be right up for this game. Although it's in essence a dead rubber, they'll be right up for it tonight.
We've got 2 teachers with us. Here we go. Who's going to be the harsh one? Good cop, bad cop. If you had to write a report now, Gwenan, on the campaign so far, what grade would you be giving and what would you be saying?
Well, I hate writing reports, so thank you for that. I'm always honest and I'll continue to be the same. I'd probably give them a D. I think they're underachieving. Yes, I know we're playing up against top nations. However, I just think elements of our performances haven't been up to the standard that maybe we've set in the past when we've played the likes of France, etc. And then in the games against Iceland, bitterly disappointed not to come away with the victory, and just better performances, being more clinical and being better in possession as well.
Katie?
I'm going to be good cop here. Not much better, mind. I think a C-. I think, putting into context, we are playing against high-ranked opposition, but there is that realism that maybe we're not quite ready for League A. The brutality of playing against top nations, they're clinical, they're ruthless, and they'll punish mistakes. And we've made too many individual errors. We haven't been defensively strong enough, and we've been punished for it. So lots of improvements being made, but lots of positives to take as well.
And it doesn't get any easier tonight, does it, Helen? What a challenge.
Yeah, it's difficult. As I said, they're one of the world's best out there, and they have been for a long, long time. And the types of player that they're able to call upon, Alex Popp for one, it's going to be a really difficult test out there. But as I said, it's another opportunity for them to put that badge on and do that with pride, and they do that all the time. So you have to look at the positives and go for the win.
There we are, your opening reflections. But let's hear from the manager, Gemma Granger. How has she been reflecting on the past few days, I wonder? She's been talking to our reporter, Alex Richards.
You've had a few days to reflect now since that game. Just talk me through, how disappointing that result is.
It was disappointing. It was frustrating. When Iceland scored the goal, it surprised everybody in the stadium, I think, in terms of it was a shock. They'd had one chance, they scored, and it felt a little bit flat after that point because we'd absolutely dominated. And for me, there was some moments in the game that we needed to be better in. Ultimately, we've got to score in those moments, and when we have momentum, we have to take our chances.
Is it a case of this Nations League was going to be a campaign where you could develop players, you could develop this team, and if you've seen a progress in that performance, then actually there's not so much of a concern about the results?
People have asked me about confidence, people have asked me about back-to-back losses. It's never been about that for us. Do we want to lose back-to-back games? No, we don't. What we want to do, though, is we want to put ourselves in a position where we back ourselves to perform against anybody, and that's what these games have given us. So the Nations League has been a huge success from that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of positives you can take from this campaign, no doubt. But how difficult has it been, after 5 back-to-back defeats, to pick these players up?
Yeah, I think the assumption is that morale would be low, confidence is low. It couldn't be the opposite. Anyone who speaks to the players, confidence is high because of the things that we've done against these teams. We've never done it before. We've got our playing style in possession. We've got our playing style out of possession. They have a mentality that they want to qualify. No one's messing around here in terms of we want to step out, we want to perform, and the focus is on qualification. And that's from our most senior players to our younger players.
What have the conversations been like the last few days with the team, and how do you look to try and finish this Nations League campaign on a high?
Yeah, we have one focus for Tuesday against Germany, and that's to perform. So we want to perform here in front of the fans at Swansea. That means a lot to us, our family, our friends, why we do what we do. And these are the games that we want to play in. If we could play higher ranked teams all of the time, I'd take it. And people would think I was mad, but it's where you get your greatest learning. It's where the learning speeds up. So I want that momentum to continue.
There we are there, the thoughts of manager Gemma Granger. And here we are in the corner. Can you see us? We've come to our little studio. It's a bit warmer up here, slightly, we think. It's getting chilly here at the Swansea.com stadium. Interesting to hear Gemma say there that they are creating chances, but they need to score goals when they are getting to that final third. Why do you think they're not being clinical enough right now, Gwenna?
I think there's a couple of reasons, and I think there's a few actually maybe examples from the game on Friday where, yes, I understand that we have to have balance both in attack and defence, and especially considering we've been struggling to defend transitions. But I think at times we don't have enough numbers joining in, and that's why we force things. So, for example, the next clip here now, as the play progresses and the ball spreads out wide, Iceland leave one up top. We leave 4 back. So 4 defenders to defend against the 1, whereas we should be more positive in that mindset. So Lily Woodham should be hopefully joining in. The ball-sided fullback should be joining in. And even if something's not on then, instead of forcing it, we can retain possession and try and just keep building, get the ball out the other side, use the width, and just pull teams out of positions. I just think we force it at times. That mentality maybe, I'm unsure whether the players are sure themselves if they're allowed to join in or not. That's how it seems to me.
OK then, are they low on confidence then, Katie? We heard Alex ask Gemma there how tough it is to pick players up after losing 5 games on the bounce. Is confidence starting to become an issue?
It has to be. I think as players we know if you lose 5 games in a row and you include the USA game, 6 games, it's tough to keep bouncing back knowing you're playing against tough opposition. And as much as you can be resilient and strong, when you know then you have to go and play against the likes of Germany, your confidence is low when you're making mistakes. You have to keep picking yourself back up. So I would agree that confidence is more low than what Gemma Granger is insisting.
OK then, with that in mind then, Helen, is dropping down to League B of this Nations League, is it a bad thing because they will be playing sides that are of a similar level to them, possibly winning games, getting more people in to watch as well?
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be relegated from League A, and I'm not going to pretend that it's brilliant and it's really positive, but it has happened, and you have to then focus on, right, how can we turn this into a positive? And like you said, they'll be playing against teams of a similar ranking, and in the recent past, we've had really good results in games against teams like that. We've had really positive performances, really positive results. So you have to look at it as an opportunity to build momentum, build that confidence, which I think is also probably lower than Gemma is suggesting. But it gives an opportunity to develop that style of play with success at the other end of it. And for me, that's what you have to go into League B as the main focus.
Well, Gwennan is going to go off to commentary, so thank you, Gwennan, for your opening thoughts. We're going to have a look at that Wales team then in a bit more detail. And Gemma Granger, well, she has made 3 changes to the side that lost on Friday night as she tries to develop some depth. Up top, Elise Hughes is awarded for her goal on Friday night and comes in for Kaylee Green. There's a change of formation as well. 5 at the back. Hayley Ladd and Kerry Holland drop to the bench, and Josie Green and Charlie Escott come into the side. And we have in the past, haven't we, criticised or asked questions of Gemma Granger for not mixing it up? Well, she's done exactly that tonight.
Yeah, we've seen, the likes of Elise Hughes being introduced on Friday night. So it's, this is her reward for scoring that goal, and rightly so. She gets an opportunity here tonight to show what she can do and what she's been doing week in, week out at club football.
Yeah, and I think for someone like Josie Green, you might look at that and think, wow, what a task to come up against someone like Alexandra Pop. But knowing Josie as I do, she'll be relishing that sort of challenge. She's a combative player. We're used to seeing her perhaps higher up in the midfield, but she can do a job wherever she's put on the pitch. And the fact that she's probably played in about 4 or 5 different positions in her last 4 or 5 appearances shows how versatile she is. And I think she'll be right up for that challenge today, and it'll be a really good battle.
Do you think the team can get a job done here tonight, or do you think it is about giving players opportunity more than getting a win? Is that what we're seeing this evening?
I think we have to be realistic and appreciate the opposition that we're against, but I think by playing with 5 at the back, it gives the team a really good structure and that foundation defensively, because we know Germany are going to be a real threat in the box and delivering crosses, so we need that defensive structure and more players behind the ball this evening. We'll more than likely sit with that low block.
And I think, I think with the likes of Elise Hughes up top, that gives a different focus for the attack. We're used to saying players like Kaylee Green, Hannah Kane, whose game is broadly based on running in channels and using their pace, whereas Elise is a lot more of a foundation to build from. She'll hold the ball up. That will allow the likes of Jess Fishlock, Rachel Rowe to get forward and join in and give them a little bit more time to get up the pitch, which is a bit more difficult when you sit in that 5 at the back.
And let's have a look also at the Wales defence, because we have asked the question, haven't we, in the past, are we maybe, to the detriment of the defence, concentrating too much on the attack right now?
Yeah, we've definitely looked vulnerable defensively, and it's just basic errors. One, can we stop the cross? Can we affect the delivery? But we have to do better in marking, winning those 1v1 duels, being more aggressive, and just having that awareness around you of what's going on, your body position, and that awareness in the width of the 6-yard box.
OK, we'll talk a bit more about the defence, hopefully, later on. But this is not the first time the Wales have faced Germany on home soil. Oh, no, take yourselves back to 2007, if you can, when they faced them in Haverfordwest. Oh, yes, and they were world champions at the time too. And have a little look at this, because you might notice that you recognise a few players, including one of the lineup this evening.
Gwennan, 16 years ago, you were here about to take on the world champions, Germany. Do you find that hard to believe now?
Yeah, it feels like yesterday, to be honest. It was a really proud moment at the time, because obviously they were world champions.
What do you think that German side were thinking? Because you brought them all the way down here to Haverfordwest, a million miles away from what they were used to.
To be fair, I think we were trying to make it as difficult as we could for them, so bring them as far away from Cardiff, trying to take them out of their comfort zone, because in the reverse fixture, they were playing in front of 20,000. But I think when they probably turned up, seeing horses on the side of the pitch, that there's barely anyone here. Maybe the state of the facilities in terms of changing rooms, they were used to a lot better. We were just excited, to be honest, to have the opportunity to play against them, albeit a little bit nervous because they were current European and World Cup champions. Playing for Wales meant everything, so I was always trying to just concentrate on getting through the anthem without crying, to be totally honest. But then past that, as soon as that's over, you've got to just G yourself up then and just try and win every small, tiny little battle. And I think we held them out for about 20 minutes, which we were quite chuffed with at the time.
What was the chat like at half-time?
Just stay in the game, girls, because we were so tired.
It finished 6-0. It was a tough learning curve, wasn't it?
Yeah, huge, especially for maybe myself, Jess. We were so young, we were 19, 20. You could just see the difference in quality, but considering that we'd only met up 2 days prior to playing them, and with what we had available to us, I think we did really well.
If we fast forward 16 years then, did you ever think it would get to the point that it is at now?
But if I'm totally honest, I never ever thought I would see it like this in my lifetime. So to see the way it's developed, especially the last 5 years, is unbelievable.
Yeah, because it would be unthinkable now really for a Wales Women's International to be played outside of anywhere like the Cardiff City or Swansea.com stadium, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that just shows just how far the game has come. There's nothing stopping them, there's no barriers, and that's just amazing to see, and hopefully it'll continue the youngsters coming through that's just starting their journeys.
Well, I'm sure the horses enjoyed that game despite the scoreline. But look, we've got a bit more of a crowd here this evening, eagerly awaiting this one here in Swansea. The first time we've had the women play here since 2018. And look, we will be kicking off in about a quarter of an hour's time. But first, we saw Gwen and Harris there, but also, did you spot Katie Sherwood? Now, I thought you were a natural blonde, Katie, but this tells me otherwise.
No comment. I definitely don't remember the horses either.
What do you remember about it, though, facing the world champions at the time? Were you excited or petrified at the prospect, because you were basically an amateur side, weren't you?
It was probably a mix of emotions. It was a great experience. We knew what we were up against, you know. Germany were powerhouses in Europe and they'd won the World Cup in 2003. But like you said, we were amateurs, they were fully professional. So we never really stood a chance, but it was just about playing for your badge, that pride of playing for your country. And we had some real talent in the team. We've seen Gwen, we've seen Jess, Jane Ludlow, Cheryl Foster, who's now a referee. So we had the talent, myself, but we just didn't have the investment then because the game wasn't as big. But the growth that we see now is just incredible. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Helen, this is the Wales that you recognise as well, because you started playing a year later.
I did, yeah. Funnily enough, I think that was one of the last games before I made my debut, and this is the first campaign since retiring, and I never played them in between. But yeah, it's come an awful long way in the last 15, 16 years, and to be here tonight in front of, as you said, a good crowd and playing one of the world's best again, it's a very different playing field, literally, to what they played on in Haverfordwest, but it's great to see.
I don't know, it looked lovely down in Haverfordwest, I don't know. Well, let's have a little look then at tonight's opponents, and it's a side filled with world-class players. A teammate of Sophie Ingles there in that midfield, Nusken, you've got Boole as well, but the big headline, influential captain Alexandra Popp is back in the mix up front and leads the side. And she is a huge name. In the reverse fixture, she was absent. And I remember, Katie, there was a sigh of relief when we saw the team last time out. What does she bring to this side?
Well, she is a defender's nightmare, you know, her superior athletic ability, her aerial ability. She's a winner, she's a competitor, but in the box, if you give her any opportunity, she knows how to find the back of the net. She's just such a presence, and they're going to have to be really aggressive against her.
Yeah, she's a wonderful talent. I remember playing against her in the Champions League when she was 17, 18, and even then the presence that she had on the pitch, she was playing left back, I think, but she's obviously moved forward into a more central position up front, and it's the movement that she has. She doesn't find herself unmarked accidentally. It's not an accident that she's unmarked and finds herself the space in the air. It's the timing of her movement, the awareness of where the ball's going to land, the speed of the attack, and then she gets on the end of it 9 times out of 10 and ends up in the back of the net.
Well, if I wasn't worried about it beforehand, I most definitely am now. How do you defend against that, Katie?
Good question. How do you defend against that? we have to be better than what we've seen previously, but it's about winning those 1v1 battles and having that communication and just being really aggressive and talking, but also the midfield too are really important in blocking balls into it, that front screen, which again we haven't done really well. So the midfield too have to be aware of her movement, but she likes to drift along the forward line and she'll pull players out, so communication is going to be key.
Well, trying to stop that immense German attack will be Anghara James, that midfielder, Wales's youngest ever centurion. Quite the achievement. We caught up with her earlier in the week.
And Wales are relegated.
This has probably been the most challenging set of games that we've had. The fact that we're in Group A, where we're playing top-ranked nations, every camp that we've had is a challenge. We've learnt a lot. The most important thing for us is that a team has to go through a lot of hurt and a lot of sacrifices to achieve things. It's not been easy, and at times it's not been up to the standards that we expect from ourselves.
Comes out to James.
We know that we're not playing our best football right now. We also know that we're not getting the results that we need. I think mindset is probably the most important thing. If you can't believe it, you won't achieve it, and I think that's something that has been really hard for us. We've never qualified for a major tournament, so until that happens, it's going to take a little bit of time to believe that we can, but the group that we've got is a strong group, and I think that's why we know that we will achieve big things, because that will all ultimately come together as one at some point. And you know what, the youngsters that are coming through are very good. We need the fresh legs, because us oldies can't go on forever. Being back in Swansea would be great. being able to play at different stadiums in Wales is also something that we're very passionate about. I know that we've sold a lot of tickets already, and like I say, we've got a good fan base there, so it's an exciting time.
Yeah, and Hannah James there, very honest, I have to say, with her assessment of how things have been going.
But that's what we want the players to be. We want them to be honest, because they know by their standards they haven't performed. But, you know, form is temporary, class is permanent, and she talks so well about needing to, you know, to push the team forward. And she's been such a fantastic player for Wales, over 100 caps already at the age of 29. And she is our Joey Allen in this team. She dictates the tempo, so confident on the ball, and she can also find that killer pass when needed.
Do you think she's been playing to her full capabilities of late, would you say?
Possibly not, but then I don't think that's an individual thing. I think it's a team thing, and it's you know, that midfield area is so vital, and with the likes of Jess, Sophie and Haz in there, they've got so much experience, probably nearly 400 caps between them. But it's difficult for them. Yes, that's the engine room of the team, but they need the whole team around them to perform as well, for them to perform. So I don't think we can sit here and say individuals aren't doing this, aren't doing that. I think it's unfair to do that. I think just as a team, it's just been a really difficult campaign for them, and I can't believe she's describing herself as one of the oldies. That's well, that makes me feel ancient.
She was 16 or 15, 16 when she first came into the team, and she was coming on for me because I needed fresh legs. So, you know, it feels like she's been around a long time, but, you know, I think she's only now just hitting her prime. There's so much more to come from Haz.
Yeah, and she's done so much in her career. She was over in America, back now with Spurs as well. She's done a lot, as I said, and had different experiences in that time.
She has, yeah, and I think we come to expect so much from her because she's been so brilliant and so consistent from that young age. It's almost like we're judging her. She's almost, what's the word, a victim of her own success, because she's done so well, and then you expect those standards all the time, and it's not easy to do that. And as you said, she's been around, she's been over to America and back again, and you know, it takes time to resettle back into things. She's playing in a different position for her club, which I think is important to remember. She's playing as a right back, very different to a central midfield position. So again, it's not just Haz, it's all of them, probably collectively. Just things aren't quite ticking. I wouldn't say they're in terrible form, I just think it's not quite clicking at the moment.
While we've got the opportunity, I just want to mention Hannah Kane, unavailable for last Friday's game, and since then we've heard that she's had an ACL injury. This is the second she's had on a different leg. To come back from one is phenomenal. To have to come back from two is so tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's devastating news. When we did hear it was another ACL injury, but you know, she has been through it once, so she knows the training and the rehab she needs to do, and she's already come out and said, you know, it's going to make her stronger. But I think she'll have good people around her, which is really important. But mentally, I can imagine it's going to be really tough.
And it was nice to hear, actually, Gemma Green just say during the week that they want to try and qualify for the Euros in 2025 for her, because she won't be available for qualification, possibly for the playoffs right at the end of the campaign if we get there. But it would be nice, wouldn't it? It's a nice carrot to dangle.
Of course, and I think most teams that have success have something that they're fighting for, whether it's on the pitch, off the pitch, and this is just another motivation for the team to go out and do it for one of their own who's obviously suffered another ACL injury. And you know, we wish her all the best. Unfortunately, it's all too common, as we're seeing, but Hannah's, as Katie said, she's done it before, and I'm sure she'll do it again and then some.
Well, we do wish her all the best indeed as she gets better from that injury. Well, there's a bit of zombie nation going around the Swansea.com stadium. You can see the players are ready to go. Sophie Ingle ready to lead Wales out for this all-important game for so many different reasons. Wales playing for pride, Germany wanting that top spot in this League A group. Let's hand over then to our commentary team this evening and say a very good evening once again to Gwennan Harris, who's joined by Simon Davis. Good evening both.
Good evening, Catherine. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, pride to play for, as you say. It is the final group game for Wales. The aim, very much to finish what has been a disappointing campaign on a high. 5 defeats so far for Wales in Group A. Life with the top teams has proved too tough at times for Gemma Granger's side. It is a cold evening in Swansea, but a fine turnout by the Red Wall as always. And who knows, maybe a famous result against one of the top nations in world football. There we see Rhiannon Roberts and Ellis Hughes, who gets a starting place reward really for her goal against Iceland, and much attention will be on that player there. Alexandra Popp winning her 135th cap for Germany this evening. Well, the passion can't be denied. Unquestioned, really, the passion in this Wales team during this tough inaugural Nations League campaign. And it doesn't get much tougher than playing Germany, former world champions. Well, Gemma Granger has made 3 Welsh changes from the Iceland loss in Cardiff. Ellis Hughes is rewarded for her goal in that game with a starting place. Josie Green comes into the defence. Hayley Ladd gets a rare demotion to the bench. Charlie Escort in the 11 too. Rhiannon Roberts moves in to centre-back. Kerry Holland also drops to the bench, despite an impressive showing against Iceland. Well, Germany are top of the group with good reason, but they have made 4 changes from the team that beat Denmark. Sarah Dawson, Paulina Krumbeigel, Alina Sants and Julie Brond come into the side in place of Marina Hegering, Sarah de Brits, Sydney Lohman and Gillian Gwyn. The latter 3 all on the bench, captaining the side and leading the attack, the inimitable Alexandra Popp, who, as I said earlier, wins her 135th cap. Tonight's match officials are all Romanian, led by referee Uliana Dumitrescu. Well, as well as finishing top of the group, tonight is a real chance for Germany to enhance their chances of a place at the Paris Olympics. And they have great pedigree, of course, one of the powerhouses of world football, having won the World Cup on 2 different occasions.
Wales have lost 6 in a row, but worth noting that all of those defeats have been against teams ranked within the top 15 in the world. Much focus will be on the defence. Rhiannon Roberts switching from right back to centre back is an interesting move, particularly with the experienced Hayley Ladd dropping to the bench. Well, Gwennan Harris, how nice it would be to finish this campaign with some positivity.
And I think they need a bit of positivity. You can see the confidence is drained out of them as the campaign's gone along. I think it'll be a very difficult evening. Obviously, Germany is a must-win game for them. Well, they have to better the result of Denmark at least. However, a great opportunity for some of these players and a good opportunity for them to, as you said, finish on a positive and take something from this campaign.
Well, Jess Fishlock has seen it and done it all for Wales. Bar a victory against a team like Germany. It would be a famous result if Wales could do it. But Germany know that a win would guarantee them top spot in the group. Away we go. A cold night in Swansea. This tough campaign. The question is, can it finish on a high? Granger has made 3 changes, Gwennan, and I suppose the most notable of those is Elise Hughes up front.
Yeah, really happy to see Elise get a chance. You know, I think she's been playing off very limited minutes and trying to make an impression when she's come on. She had a bit longer on Friday. You know, she's a real presence in the box. You know, Iceland found it difficult to contain her, as we've seen from her goal.
Well, Germany will have lots of possession, and as we saw in the game in Sinsheim, all they need is the odd chance on goal, and they can be so clinical. Of course, Alexandra Popp, who was involved in that game, involved tonight, and already you can see the quality on the ball. Kronbeigel denied by Woodham. Wales going to do a lot of chasing tonight. We expect that, Gwennan.
They are, and you can see the shape already when it opens up. You can see, you know, 5 at the back. The midfield will go into a flat 4 while they're defending, and then Elise Hughes up top on their own. When Wales get possession, they'll hope to then push Rachel Rowe and Jess Fishlock on to play more like a box midfield with them floating number 10s, a bit like the men's national team play.
Linda looking down the line, Charlie Escort in at right back. It is a back 5 in every sense of the word. But do you expect those wing backs to get forward as we've seen them do in previous games?
No,
be a risk, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, we've seen already, you know, Lily Woodham she's going up quite high to press on Brand, which would be a difficult evening for herself.
Brand to Nuskin. First touch, first real touch for Elise Hughes. Sons. And here is Clara Bull, one of the goal scorers against Denmark last Friday night. Linda. Here's Bull up against Escorts. And Roberts with the crunching tackle away by Rachel Rowe.
Yeah, good distances between the Welsh defence, actually. And that'll be important that they maintain those distances this evening. Good communication, especially when Popp is going between. Josie Green is the one actually that's playing in the middle centre half. She'll have to keep checking the shoulder constantly. And don't let Popp get a run. You need to be touch tight on her.
Amazing statistics for Popp, 135 caps. If she was to get a goal tonight, it would be 68 for international tally, Alexandra Popp. Escort's throw towards James, who wins the free kick. Well, it was a very physical game against Iceland. Wales felt that they perhaps didn't get all the decisions their way that they perhaps should have in that game, but it was a different sort of physical test tonight.
Yeah, possibly not on Friday. However, I actually like the way the Icelandic team played, because that's what you want to do. You want to get in people's faces, you want to unsettle them, unnerve them. Wales should be used to dealing with those sort of acts.
Rachel Rowe putting pressure on the goalkeeper, Froms. Coolly done. Dawson wants it off Linda. Pressurising from Hughes, away from the German backline from Dawson. Roberts has stepped out, and luckily for Wales, Woodham spotting the run on that far side at the top of your screen from Brand.
it's really important that Wales try and make sure they pick up the second balls this evening. We've seen a couple of occasions already. Maybe they've won the first phase, great, but then being ready, being proactive for that second phase instead of being reactive.
Well, it would be a major scalp if Wales were to get a result against Germany this evening. Great footage from Haverfordwest, by the way, of a young Gwennon Harris and a young Jess Fishlock earlier.
Well, I certainly still had my puppy fat, and Jess looked about 12 years old, I think, at the time.
What a career she's had for Wales. Jess Fishlock, free kick, taken away by Ingle. Sophie Ingle, WSL record appearance holder at Chelsea these days, of course.
I like that from Charlie, actually. She needs to make sure that the ball and the same then with Brand on the other side up against Woodham. You want to be getting, as I said, touch tight to them, leaving a little mark on occasion, so that sometimes then hesitation in their minds.
Is Linda collecting the ball from Sons to Dawson. Plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, former Wolfsburg player. Linda. It's a ball for Bull to chase. Roberts stuck with a woman. That has been the surprising thing about this campaign, and Catherine touched upon it with Katie Helen and indeed yourself earlier about the goals that Wales have conceded during this campaign that have been so disappointing at times.
Yeah, and away from what we've come to expect as well, we've been so solid, built really good foundations defensively for a number of years, and I'm thinking even back to when we played France, England, Norway, always been really hard and difficult to beat and break down. And I know obviously we've tried to adopt a bit more of a positive play, changing formation, but you've got to be realistic in that, and you have to still do those jobs well.
Over to Brand, it's won well by Woodham, cheered on by this Swansea crowd. Rowe wins it, and the attack is on. Rowe trying to find Hughes, still there for Wales. Fishlock. Well, positive stuff. Rowe again. Well, we're always delighted to see Rachel Rowe in such positions, getting forward and creating for Wales. And almost created an opening there.
Yeah, that was superb play by Rachel Rowe, just the way that she's pressing.
And here's James. Hughes in space. Elise Hughes. Rowe was in the middle, but it is a corner. And that's got this crowd going.
Yeah, Wales pressing high, winning possession of the ball back twice. I think Elise Hughes, when she looks back at this, she'll be really disappointed. Actually, she doesn't just back herself. You know, she scored Friday evening. She's in great form for her club. Why not just drag that across? You know, aim at that back post, keep it on the floor, make it difficult. It's a bit dew on the surface. Get Frooms down low, test her early.
Well, the Crystal Palace forward, Elise Hughes, who scored against Iceland, showing attacking instincts already this evening. The corner will be from Rachel Rowe. It's a floated delivery. It's there to be attacked. Ingle! Well, it won't count. There was pressure on the referee. Well, the goalkeeper did spill it, but it was never going to count. It was always Ingle's attempt which threatened the goalkeeper. I mean, all eyes on the referee, but I think Gemma Evans kicked the ball out of her hands. Both hands, it appears, was on the ball.
Yeah, it was definitely not a goal, but, you know, really good set piece there. Well worked to see Elise Hughes being the target runner, and then obviously Sophie Ingle spinning around the back. It came to her. Good contact on it as well. Frooms did well just to get a grip on the end, but a really positive couple of minutes from Wales, and good to see just the way Wales are pressing high, just being a bit dogged in that we're not giving any time.
And Elise Hughes really attacked that ball. May not have had the contact, but it's a different sort of set piece as we've been used to seeing from Wales in this campaign. It's been a good few minutes, this. Escort. Well, Gemma Granger won't be getting too carried away. And she is always of the belief that if Wales play top teams, then in the long run it will be better. Here's Nuskin. Picked up by Rowe, has had a positive start. Fishlock. Pretty isolated here, but gets the free kick. And in the grander scheme of things, probably the best thing for her. There wasn't too much around.
No, she's so good at this. You can watch just before, she just checks her shoulder. She's aware of the timing of when Brand is coming, and just that slight would move across the body there, knowing she's going to draw the foul. But as you said, maybe players a little bit slow to join in, but Lily Woodham, actually, the wing-back, was joining in this time, which is happy to see.
Rachel Rowe will want to put this in the space between keeper and defenders. It's a high line from Germany. And it's Woodham, in fact, who takes it, looking for Evans. Evans' header. James. Evans to Ingle. There's another throw into Wales. Well, Wales, you feel, have something to prove after a disappointing campaign, and been impressed so far by the intensity. Throw to Hughes. Ingle. Escorts cross it towards Fishlock. That will go out for another corner.
It's a great ball in by Charlie Escott. Great pace on it, good whip on it. Into an area where Fishlock could get on to attack it. A superb start for Wales.
Rachel Rowe in a beautiful delivery a few minutes ago to set up that Ingle chance. Here's another floated delivery towards Hughes, who's the clear target. Sons brings it away for Germany. Attempted pass up towards Bull. Good defending from Josie Green, who actually started the game out in Denmark in Viborg.
Yeah, I thought she was unlucky to lose her place, if I'm honest, for the Iceland game then. Same with Ffion Morgan. I thought both played well and given the opportunity. But she did well then, because Wales have struggled in those situations, as we've seen Friday evening, those transitions. So just, if in doubt, just relieve the pressure. Wales got time to organise again.
Linda. Throw into Germany. We see Huth. There's her football in Wolfsburg. So much talent in this German team. Brand. One for Hughes to chase. You mentioned her form for Crystal Palace, Elise Hughes. It certainly hasn't gone unnoticed in Welsh circles. It's been really hard for forward players to try and remove Kayleigh Green, who has been the first choice in that role. Carrie Jones has played there too, Kerry Holland as well. But it is Elise Hughes tonight.
Yeah, I think she's more than deserving of an opportunity. As I said, when she does come on, she doesn't get many minutes. And it's really hard to motivate yourself when you're a forward player. I should know. When I used to play the same, you know, it's difficult to, when you know that you're maybe not going to get many minutes constantly, you've just got to keep that professionalism. As she has, she's such a positive person, and she'll be a presence this evening. I'm unsure, maybe the running the channels will maybe suit her game. Wales will have to look to her feet, because obviously Germany normally get the full-backs quite high, there'll be a lot of space in behind. However, we'll see if she can adopt a little bit more of that play this evening.
Fishlock tackled there by Dawson, but Rowe is away. What a start she's had to this game, Rachel Rowe. A shame it just went beyond her. Hughes was in support, but she has been a bundle of energy in this game so far, Rachel Rowe. And Germany not having it all their own way tonight, so far.
No, this time she's pressing from behind the ball, but we've seen her win the ball earlier where she's pressing from, actually she was in front of the ball, she's coming back. Really happy to see her. It was crying out for changes of a different formation on Friday evening, and seeing her in a more central area, giving Fishlock and Rowe the licence. You know, they're not out and out wingers. We're not expecting them to hug the touchlines. Get them in those little pockets where they can create and bring other players into play.
Escort's throw, again reaches Hughes. I think there was a claim of handball which the referee has given. Willis Hughes saying that it actually hit her chest, but it's been a positive opening quarter for Wales. I think at times we felt that out in Sinsheim as well when Wales played out there. Of course, we all know what happened eventually, so it's a game of attrition as well. Good tackle from Roberts.
I think you mentioned the start. I think Wales, apart from that Denmark at home game, they do start games well. Yeah, and they're really competitive, they're positive, they're lively. It's if something, I think when the first goal has gone in, you just see the body language change a fair bit. And it's about trying to capitalise on the momentum that you've created, because it's going to ebb and flow within games, so it's the difference. Our Wales need to take that next step, taking their chances when they're on top of the game.
Krumbeigel dispossessed by Ingle. Looking for Rowe. It's opened up for her. Rachel Rowe! Oh, it's at the post! So close from Rachel Rowe. And just for a moment, Wales thought they were in front against this talented German side.
Oh, great pressing again. You know, Germany have been really sloppy in possession, but Wales been on the front foot at it. Rachel Rowe just taking that extra touch, just to open her body up here, this extra little touch, and then she's more than happy to have a go with her left foot. What I like about that strike, she keeps it on the floor, make it difficult, make Froome get down low. I thought the bounce actually off the post could have been fortuitous to Wales, but not on this occasion.
It almost ended up as an own goal from Fromms, but it's another corner for Wales. And Wales really competing here. And Rachel Rowe, who had that chance, will take another corner. Got Lily Woodham alongside her, but it's the cross towards that back post. And Roberts, here's James with the hit. Not enough pace, but Wales have been threatening.
It was worth a strike, I think, from Anghar James. You never know, a little deflection on the way through, but as you said, lacked a lot of pace to cause Froome's any danger.
Linda. Again, Wales quick to dispossess Germany, and they've won the free kick for the foul on Hughes. Well, let's bring in Helen Ward, who's pitch side for us. And Helen, what a start for Wales. The only thing missing is a goal now.
Friday evening, really. I think Wales's press has been superb again, winning the ball back high up and creating opportunities, and the energy, particularly from the middle of the pitch. You look at the likes of Rachel Rowe, Jess Fishlock getting into really good advanced areas, and I think Elise Hughes, we just see her there. She's really putting herself about and being a presence. So really positive start for Wales, and as you said, just missing that goal at the moment.
Thanks, Helen. And had that ball ricocheted off the post and into the 6-yard area, there's no doubt that a Helen Ward would have been on the end of that. It's another high defensive line, this, from Germany, Granat. Woodham looking to take advantage. Over the head of Roberts it goes. It's always that risk, isn't it, having that big gap between the defence and goalkeeper.
Yeah, you will see them drop off, but I think their starting position is extremely high. They're obviously very confident that they can deal with it, as they have once or twice. I think they have been pretty confident and comfortable, sorry, from those areas. It's the corners that have maybe caused more troubles.
Woodham's throw. It's Fishlock. Ingle with a high one for Hughes to chase. Heinrich under pressure.
What's interesting for me, Simon, is the fact that Germany have made quite a few changes, albeit some outstanding players still playing. But the changes that they've made at the minute are looking quite shooken, I'd say. You know, and you've got some world-class players on the bench as a consequence. I think of Sidney Lohmann, De Bruyne. I think maybe missing that experience.
Yeah, 2 glaring omissions really from the 4 changes, but as you say, a lot of quality. But I agree with you, Gwen, and they seem unsettled by this Wales team with a spring in its step. And Rachel Rowe in particular has looked dangerous and has come closest to scoring. Fans wrapped up tonight, as are we.
Yeah, plenty of coats on.
Not as cold as it was in Cardiff, mind you, for the Iceland game, I don't think, but still testing conditions for supporters. Good tackle from Evans.
I'm surprised you haven't got a hat on, to be honest, Simon. No offence.
Yeah, with the more follically challenged of us, then perhaps we should be wearing hats, but I'm okay at the moment. Even better if Wales can get the lead here. It's been positive stuff so far. Ball to Rowe. From Weigl of Hoffenheim. It's up towards Hughes, who's really been in a battle so far. Has enjoyed this hold-up play, I think, in this opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's one of her main strengths, if I'm honest. You know, she will lead the line really, really well. She'll be a nuisance, as we said. She'll occupy both centre-halves, as she has done already. And she'll bring others into play. She'll win free kicks and fouls. What she possibly can't do as well is to run those channels where the spaces are in behind. But
Huth. Nice ball in towards Brand. Wales have got to be careful here. Could have gone anywhere. And Julie Brand, well, I think it was a cross rather than a shot, but maybe it should have been the latter.
Yeah, they've switched wings, haven't they? Boole and Brand, they're just trying to get a bit more joy. But Wales looking very shaky.
Good interception from Woodham. Yeah. Ball up to Hughes. Yeah, a clear change in ploy of Germany, the switching of the wingers Brand and Bull. And it was Julie Brand who danced her way in there. Dawson. Looking for Bull, finds Ingle instead. Here's Gemma Evans of Manchester United. And a ball for Rowe to chase. Heinrich just has the beating of her. Good work, though, again from Rachel Rowe.
Yeah, and those are the spaces that I was talking about. Germany like to get their full-backs quite high, and we'll see then the spaces in behind them where Wales will look to try and exploit. Yeah, we just see the runner, you know, Charlie Escott can't go with the runner with Brand, and she's a little bit unsure, but you know, at any point teams in this campaign unfortunately have got into that final third, Wales have tended to look pretty shaky.
Yeah, we saw that against Iceland for that opening goal. Took nothing away from Brand's skill. Ball over the top, this one for Huth to chase. It's a risky one. Olivia Clark had it covered. It was just about enough communication between Clark and Escort.
Yeah, you can just see that pass, you know, it's not the best of balls from pop. And I think Germany actually be really disappointed in the reverse fixture. You know, they had 79% accuracy on their passes when they had 69% possession. Wales actually 31% possession and just over 50% in their accuracy. But Germany have been well off their usual standards in possession. And I think credit to Wales for that. The way they've been on the front foot, they've been hassling, they've been reading the play, stepping forward, especially in the midfield areas.
And just to reiterate, it's not as if Germany have nothing to play for. This is a vital game for them tonight. Because if you finish top of your group in the Nations League, it will have a bearing potentially on Olympic qualification, which I think is probably fair to say has far more prestige in the women's game than the men's. Escort. Fishlock taken out there by Dawson. Well, Fishlock applauding the referee's decision. She wasn't doing an awful lot of that against Iceland last Friday.
She's probably applauding herself as well for the cheeky little nutmeg, and she probably calls it, knowing Jess as well. I would too. Lovely piece of skill, and she's maybe a little bit fortunate to get the free kick, but when you see a lovely piece of skill like that, you're hoping for a bit of decisions to go your way.
I don't think Dawson is going to forget that nutmeg either. Here's Woodham. Driven in towards Hughes, could reach Evans. Referee blows up before it does reach Gemma Evans. I think the guilty party may have been Rhiannon Roberts in the middle there. These high balls into the box, Wales have mixed it up a bit. I hope that one of them will pay off. Well, it's a pull back pass, and Wales have a corner out of nothing, and Nuskin in two minds there, clearly.
Yeah, they're honestly rattled. You can see just their lack of composure, and their play in possession has been so sloppy, something that we're definitely not used to. You know, they've struggled to build out at all from the back, and I think the changes that they've made have affected that. Obviously, we know they've got great squad depth, but have they been a little bit, well, lack of respect, I'd say, maybe in a certain aspect, making so many changes when there's still so much to play for.
And Nuskin perhaps put off by her Chelsea teammate Sophie Ingle there. Here's Woodham from the Welsh left this time. Decent delivery. Ingle went up for it. Get near it. Sants brings it away, and the break is on, and this is where Wales have to be so careful. Pop looking for support, finds it in ball. Tremendous tackle from Gemma Evans on Huth. Still not away for Wales, and good save from Clark from Nuskin. But what a tackle initially from Gemma Evans.
Oh, that was a vital tackle first and foremost, but such a well-executed tackle. I think the only thing that helps is the fact that, yeah, I think it's Huth who's just trying to take the ball inside, but then it's about reacting to that second play, that second phase. Not tight enough again. We've got to get better at defending crosses and picking up players getting touch tight.
Fishlock. Well, that was a timely reminder of how dangerous Germany can be, especially on the break. So many players committed forward for Wales, and here's Linda of Hoffenheim. Back to Froms, who is, I think, reticent to come out of her own penalty area at the moment, given some of these pass backs at the moment. Huth. Linda is going more direct, and this one is for Sants to chase. Easy one for Olivia Clark.
Yeah, I think I'd say that that piece of play there really highlights how well and organised Wales have been in their shape, because Germany is struggling to find passing options, especially in that central corridor, especially to feet, so in the centre part of the pitch, and then it's forcing them to go long then, you know, which is basically like that last one is like a plan X basically, because there's nothing else on in front of them.
Rowe. Roberts escorts. One for Fishlock to chase. Always difficult. The ball beyond her. Froms again having to deal with a back pass. Did so well, in fairness to Linda, but defensively, Germany haven't made some stable decisions at the back so far. James to Fishlock and Dawson. Heinrich. Towards Nuskin of Chelsea. clattered into by Rowe.
Yeah, I love that though, Simon. I love that. Again, you know, just being on that front foot, not giving any time at all.
Bull. Feed that ball through towards, well, it was either Pop or Huth. Both were in there. And Pop's attempted pass to Huth just went beyond, and they haven't seen much of the ball so far in this opening half hour. And that's a testament to Wales.
Yeah, a testament especially to the defensive display. You know, the positioning of the midfield, especially maybe the midfield two and Sophie Ingle and Hard James, how much work they're doing screening in the passes into those positions.
Well, the referee is coming over to the sideline here. Just found a foreign object on the pitch and hasn't had to make any huge decisions yet, the Romanian official, but has kept the game flowing. Rowe out jumped by Krumbeigel. Wales putting pressure on Germany, but slick passing has seen the ball end up in the path of Huth. Tried the through ball, protected by Fishlock, and back to Clark. So it will be League B in the next Nations League campaign for Wales after this relegation. And still opportunities to qualify for major tournaments, and just wonder in the long term if Wales will look back at this campaign and say perhaps we needed to go through that. Hindsight would be a wonderful thing. Of course, we don't know how it's going to go, but it could go one of two ways, really.
Yeah, but I really dislike when a lot of people are saying, oh, we're not good enough to be in League A. Okay, right, the top side, we can't possibly compete in terms of winning back-to-back games against the likes of Germany and Denmark, because we haven't got the infrastructure, we haven't got the sport, we haven't got the depth, unfortunately. However, I don't think there's much difference at all between ourselves and Iceland. You look at the starting 11 that we put out, you look at that on paper compared to theirs, you look at the clubs that ours are playing for, the top players, we've got a better team there. We've just been underperforming. Credit to Iceland, they do so well for the size of their nation, and they're really well organised, disciplined, they all know what they're doing, whereas I think we should have been competing better in those games, in my opinion. I think we're better than the top of League B. It'll be good to get a bit of confidence there, but I think we're doing ourselves a misservice, the players a misservice, by saying that we're not good enough to be in League A. Just being realistic in what type of position within that group.
Dawson. There's a Froms. His first ever shirt that she bought as a kid was of Oliver Kahn. She models her game on the legendary goalkeeper. Foul by Roberts. There's a German term, isn't there, Gegenpress, used by Jurgen Klopp when he was at Dortmund and now at Liverpool, of course, but Wales have deployed a bit of that tonight so far.
They have, and they've been very effective so far. Can they maintain that now?
Headed down to Huth. Roberts has got an awkward decision to make here. It was the right decision ultimately to find touch.
I think you're expecting Olivia Clark to come out for that a little earlier. Maybe a bit more confidence, a bit more experience.
Rachel Rowe, no nonsense approach with the clearance. Great for her to be playing in front of a Swansea crowd. Great to see international football back in this part of Wales as well. Cleared by Woodham. Huth, big clearance from Roberts. And I think Gemma Granger will be very satisfied with what she's seen so far, Gwenan.
Oh, she certainly will. Just as I said, can Wales maintain that now? They've started, apart from that one game against Denmark at home, they've started every game really, really well. Positive, on the front foot. It's about maintaining that now, and that's the difference between the top of League A and the bottom of League A.
Nice interception from James. Rowe. Here's Ellis Hughes, just beyond Fishlock. Dawson of Eintracht Frankfurt, former Wolfsburg and Potsdam player. A lot of direct balls from Germany and indeed from Wales in the last few minutes, and a lot of no-nonsense tackling as well. Well, hopefully Rachel Rowe was okay. It was Dawson with the challenge. And she looks in some pain here, the Wales forward.
That was great play on how to put your body in the way. Just watch the way she manoeuvres her body in between the ball. That was painful for both, dead leg probably. But she does so well, a really clever play, just that split second earlier, just to position herself so she's able to then roll the defender. I'm just a little bit surprised with the way that Germany are playing in terms of Wales have got quite a high line. Why they're not trying to, or at least one of the forwards, I think the wingers are on occasions trying to, but just to look to run in behind, to try and stretch the defence, it gives them then a bit more areas to play in.
Well, thankfully Rachel Rowe is up, but still in some discomfort here. But has been a bright spark in this game. Certainly Wales' best opportunity has come through Rachel Rowe. And she'll take this free kick. Another floated delivery from Rowe is almost on point for Evans. And that's a corner. Another Welsh corner in this first half.
I think that was a better ball myself, because it didn't seem to be so floated as maybe a couple of the other ones that have come in from Woodham. It's a bit more drilled in.
Can Wales do something from this corner? They've had a fair few opportunities in this first half to do so. And it will be Woodham's delivery. Ellis Hughes challenges it, so does Roberts. Ingle! Another corner and another Welsh chance.
Well, Ingles had two good opportunities, didn't she, with her left foot. Just the way it's bouncing, I think she can quite get as much pace on it, but Ellis Hughes, Rhiannon Roberts causing a good punch, to be fair, under pressure. And just can't quite get a clean contact.
It's about taking your chances. The Wales have had a few, albeit some half chances, like that one from Ingle. But it is another corner. Rachel Rowe. Shorter corner this time, away by Krumbeigel. Josie Green putting her foot in.
The old saying goes, if in doubt, kick it out, and I love it. Especially when Wales have looked vulnerable from those types of occasions in the past couple of games, so learning from those mistakes, that's all you can ask, that you learn from those areas.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that sometimes. Clear lines. Dawson, good composure. He's pulled a ball. Tara Bull of Bayern Munich, tackled by Escort there. Hughes. Oh, poor first touch. Shame really, as Fishlock was alongside her.
Charlie Escott's done that quite well, actually, on quite a few occasions, just being so tight. As that ball's being played into feet, there's absolutely no room for manoeuvre. You can feel and play that position when you know a full back or a wing back's coming right onto you. And sometimes, as I said before, places that seed of doubt in your mind. Do you want the ball constantly? Are you up for that physical challenge?
Huth. Foot in from Roberts. Here's James. Tackled by Sons. Oh, Ingle with a sliding tackle. Did get the ball. And a scrappy end to this first half, maybe.
Same again then from Josie Green, getting in nice and tight, winning it, because she's got the insurance of other players around her, because there's obviously three centre-backs plus the midfield. There's not so much space, they're not so exposed as we've seen for the likes of Hayley Ladd against Iceland, who, by the way, I'm flabbergasted has been.
Well,
is on the bench.
Yeah, there are useful players potentially off the bench. We saw there for Wales, Kerry Holland, Theo Morgan. Actually, Kerry Holland, I think, can count herself particularly unlucky. Did really well at times against Iceland. Certainly enjoyed a lot of space on that right-hand side, and that will be an option for Gemma Granger maybe a bit later on in the game, as indeed Theo Morgan will be. Hughes goes to chase down Froms. Nice ball to Linda. Ball to Pop. Not an accurate one. And that has summed up Germany in this first half.
Yeah, and they're really struggling to find solutions as well to the positioning and the shape of Wales. They have been poor in possession, as we've seen, been really nervy. Wales, as we can see again, stepping higher, being on the front foot, getting in their faces has really helped.
Froms under pressure from Hughes. Sons to Pop. Linda has got Bull to her left here. Here is Bull. Options in the middle. This is where Wales have struggled of late, but on that occasion, James with the important touch.
It was quite a poor ball in when you got the like of Alex Pop in there, just hanging into an area for her to run onto, as we've seen from the clips before. It's just really important that Wales track that run and get the contact with her really early. Don't allow her the momentum to carry the run on.
Yeah, corner for Germany. And they get another one here if it bounces favourably for their opponents. From Huth to Linda. Decent attempt, and it wasn't too far away. Clark at full stretch there.
Wales need to get out quicker. Can't allow players that amount of space to get a shot off. However, they will be looking at it then as a positive. You see, look how much space she's got. Rachel Rose trying to get across. A couple of Wales players need to step a bit higher. But they'll be happy to think that Germany have created nothing really. You know, that's one of the best opportunities, and they're taking pot shots from 30 yards.
Well, that is about as close as Germany have come in this half. It's taken them 40-odd minutes. And that is a positive for Wales. Rachel Rowe, meanwhile, picking up the ball here for Wales. It still seems to be, maybe it's just me, or struggling a little after that initial tackle. Certainly one to keep an eye on. Linda. Nice ball through to Huth. Roberts finding touch. So used to seeing Rhiannon Roberts as a right back, but totally new challenge for her tonight. In a Wales shirt, that is. Decent ball into Pop. Wales are going to close down here from Beigel. Brand. Woodham stays with her. Wales have got to be disciplined here. Danger for now is away. Linda. Well, was tempted to take it first time. Anywhere will do for Wales. And it's up towards Rachel Rowe. I think Linda had more time than she thought.
Yeah, I think she did, but all of that actually passage of play from Germany, which was better on their behalf, came because of the positioning of their wingers. They've stayed really, really wide. They're playing a traditional 4-4-2. They stayed really wide to start with in the beginning of the game, which has been quite easy for Charlie Escott and Lily Woodham as the wing backs to deal with. As soon as they took, so Brand, I think it was on this occasion, took a more infield position, it allowed then the full-back to go on higher, and they could make an overload on that side. It was 3 against 2. Allowed them to advance further up the pitch then.
Fishlock. Cruyff turn away past Heinrich there. Good control from Huth. From Beigel. Nice ball to Pop. Flagger stayed down, but Woodham was alert to Julie Brand there. Evans. Goal kick. And that will sort out Wales with a minute to go, plus added time, of what has been, for the absence of goals, yes, but a fair bit of positive talking points for Wales.
Oh, superb half. You know, and this is why, going back to being disappointed with the performances in the campaign, because we know that Wales are capable of performances. They can compete. They can 100% compete against any nation, given the right structure and the right plan that allows the players to go out and perform.
We shouldn't forget either, out in St Simon, saw that tremendous team goal scored by Kerry Holland. Again, evidence that Wales do have quality, can show it at times. From Beigel up against Fishlock. Here's Ingle. Here's Fishlock.
Oh, I should say, give it a little chance, to be fair. Fishlock's just ran back 30 yards to track back, won possession of the ball. Just needed a ball maybe a bit more to her feet. Now she's trying to get back to support them.
Escorts on this near side as Wales really looking to pack those areas in and around the box, and Escort has come in from right back here, and Hughes has gone down. What's the decision? Free kick. We can only hope sometimes.
Oh, she handballed it twice, to be fair, I think, as well, when she fell on the floor.
Yeah, fair point. Certainly been in a battle, Ellis Hughes. And it's half-time, and well, Germany don't look like Germany. Wales have really tested them and almost took the lead through Rachel Rowe. Germany have been restricted to pot shots, but Wales, so far so good, without scoring yet, are matching their German opponents. It's half-time in Swansea. It's Wales 0, Germany 0.
Yes, it is 0-0 at half-time, but it has been an entertaining first half, predominantly because Wales, well, they have more than competed. They have been the better side, creating chances. Rachel Rowe with the best. And the Germans, well, they are struggling. So, what do the stats from that first half tell us? Well, it looks pretty equal, doesn't it? Wales have had 6 corners. They haven't managed to get that all-important goal. But look, shots on target 2 and 3 shots in all. So they have been busy and they have been creating. And we are all smiles here in studio, aren't we? Because, Helen, that has been, from a Welsh perspective, a dominant first half.
Yeah, they've been brilliant, and I'm really pleased for them because it's been a really, really tough campaign, as we've spoken about, but they've come out and really attacked the game. The press has been sensational again. You know, they worked really hard on that, but what we're seeing now is that press is converting into real chances. Okay, we haven't scored, but hitting the post, 6 corners have come from chances. You know, it's not by accident that that's happening, whereas on Friday night, you got into an area and then you weren't quite creating the chance. We've taken that step further. The next one is to put it in the back of the net.
And they feel like a side that has some fight in them this evening, a point to prove. We mentioned it at the start of the game.
Yeah, I think we can never question the fight and desire that this team have, but I think sitting in this back 5, it's a really good structure for Wales, and we're really limiting the space that Germany can operate in. I think Pop has touched the ball more times in her own box than she has in the Welsh box, and that's credit to the organisation, how compact we are, the distances are much better. I think this formation really suits Wales.
OK, and what have we made of the changes? Because we weren't sure, quite a few from Gemma Granger, but it seems quite a settled side, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Josie Green and
Charlie Escort,
they've settled in really, really well. defensively, you know, they've answered all the questions that Germany have posed. So I think they've settled in really well.
And what about Elise Hughes then up front? Do you think that she has picked up where she left off on Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people know I'm her biggest fan. I think she's got so much potential, and as I said in the build-up, she's got a lot of presence about her. She's a big, powerful, strong platform to build off. I just wish here she takes that touch and then has a go herself. I can see what she's trying to do, but where the defender hasn't closed her down, it's closed off the space. If she can, right there, where that defender goes beyond her, she can just put her foot through that. With the ability she's got, stick your foot through it and go for the far post, and you don't know what can happen. But she's been a real presence up there for Wales, winning free kicks, getting in amongst it, and yeah, again, a really good platform to build from.
Does that come with experience?
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think she's come into the team. She hasn't started many games for Wales, and she's probably thinking, is there a better option to score? But actually, on that occasion, she probably was the better option. But she'll learn from that. Next time, I expect to see it hit the back of the net.
We'll get a goal next time. As for Germany, 5 changes from them, from that side that beat Denmark on Friday night. Have they underestimated Wales tonight?
I think they have. I think that's a little bit of a lack of respect. They look really frustrated. Their quality that we talked about, everything we talked about in pre-match has kind of gone out the window because we haven't seen it. And I think that's credit to Wales, how they've set up.
And Pop has not been popping, has she?
She hasn't, no. She's been really limited in how much service she's got. And as Katie said, she's touched it more times in our half than in their half than ours. And yeah, she looks a really isolated and frustrated figure up there. They sort of built a little bit of momentum in the last couple of minutes, but as Katie mentioned, the structure Wales are in at the moment has really allowed them to be dominant in that defensive third.
Gemma Granger wanted to see chances, she wanted to see her players creating, and they have, because that press has been very high, Katie.
Yeah, it's because we have players like Rachel Rowe and Jess Fishlock in those central positions where they can win the ball back, but it's also down to the quality, that the better deliveries into the box, and I think Elise Hughes is a great presence, and it just adds that quality. Again, pressing the ball really high in central areas. Again, another good ball in, and Rachel Rowe, I think this is where we need to see her. This is where she's most effective for Wales, in these central areas. But it's really positive that we're making, chances against Germany.
She's so close there, isn't she, Rachel Rowe? So close.
I know, and this is her hometown, Swansea. She'd have loved nothing more than to see that hit the back of the net. But as Katie said, you say a back five and immediately think a low block, not going to go out and impact the game higher up. But actually, the way they're set up, it's very clever. It's not a flat four in the middle. There's the licence for Rachel Rowe and Jess Fishlock to go that bit higher on the ball and out of possession. They can go and press that bit higher, which allows the rest of the team to get up, but still with that security behind, which is what we're seeing at both ends of the pitch.
And a word about Rachel Rowe as well, maybe. What do you make of her performance tonight?
I think, her energy and her quality that she has on the ball, but she has the licence to go forward because, like Hel said, we have the cover at the back, that structure in that back five. And for me, she does a great job as a wing back, but I like to see her in the middle of the park because she's so creative. She links up so well with Jess Fishlock, and she knows how to score goals.
Talking about the middle of the park, have you been impressed by their work rate this evening?
Yeah, of course. I think I never question the work rate of any of the players out there, but I think the shape has really, again, suited the whole team, and where you've got a tighter four, it allows players to go and press higher knowing they've got cover around them, whether that's in the midfield or the back line. The spaces that they're allowed to go and squeeze because they know they've got that security behind them. We're seeing loads of really good moments. You look, Sophie comes out there, but it gets past her. Haz is working hard to get back. Josie and Raza can step out, but they still got the numbers behind them to then go and impact and stop the ball getting into dangerous areas.
I think the difference we've seen here this evening is we've seen a consistent performance for 45 minutes. We haven't allowed Germany to get back into the game because our responsibilities, they're just very clear. And I think sitting in this back five, it just makes that a lot easier.
Can they sustain it for 90 minutes? That's the big question I will ask you later. But we're firstly going to concentrate on a player who made her international debut back in 2017, Fionn Morgan. She came off the bench on Friday night against Iceland. Will she be doing the same tonight, I wonder? Well, we went to catch up with her at her club, Bristol City. Alex was the one who had a chat with her.
Good morning.
Morning.
Nice early start.
It is a bit too early. I've actually been stuck in traffic, so I'm running a bit late.
Well, I've got to be honest, driving up here, I knew these facilities were going to be nice, but these are top class.
No, they're insane. To come in and be like, this is where I work, nuts.
Well, seems you're already late. I'll let you go off and I'll catch you later for a chat.
Yeah, we'll chat later.
See you later.
Bye. It's a packed week this week because we've got 3 games, but it means training is going to be good today because it'll be competitive, small-sided games. Everyone will be piping up, usually the Welsh and Scottish, and the English usually just take the abuse.
What is it about this club then? Because there's a real Welsh family here now, isn't there?
I don't know what it is about Bristol. I don't know whether it's because it's closer to home or what. But yeah, it is nice, you know. I come in and me and Carrie always, first thing we say is, "Shwmae, ti'n iawn?" We always have a Welsh conversation when we get in, which is nice because we're trying to like keep that, even though we don't really get to speak Welsh that often.
For Ffion in particular, she was absolutely one of those people that hadn't had the real chance of a full-time environment, really focusing on football, and her ceiling I still don't think we've seen. You know, she's so quick and she does so well for Wales as well when she comes on. I think that we're only seeing the start of her, and she's got a long, long future, both club and country.
Let's go back to the end of last season. That moment at Ashton Gate in front of a record home crowd.
And it's a wonder strike from Morgan.
To score in front of my family, in front of the crowd for promotion, like, oh, it's just no feeling like it really.
So what's a typical lunch for Women's Super League Club?
Chicken and rice, usually. Just lots of carbs. Yeah, could I get the curry and the rice, please? Thank you.
Game time for Wales. You started against Denmark recently. What was that like for you?
You can kind of try and guess from training, and I didn't want to get too ahead of myself. But yeah, all my mates were buzzing for me. My parents flew out to Denmark last minute, so it was like really nice.
What about after training now? What have you got planned?
I'm actually going to get my nails done. I booked my nails in. I had to cancel them last week because our schedules got messed up, so I'm due a nail appointment before camp.
Nice. Well, I won't keep you any longer because the food's probably going to go cold, and you've got a nail appointment to get in. So let's tuck in and enjoy it.
Well, hopefully she's had her nails done. All important, of course. Will she be disappointed with all the changes tonight that she wasn't starting, Katie?
I would say so, because I think she's slowly showing what she can do. I think Gemma Granger doesn't know her best position yet. Is she a number 9? Is she a wide forward? Is she a full-back? But I think she will be disappointed, but you've got to give credit to Charlie Escott. She's been fantastic the first half.
And we heard there, I think, her coach saying there's so much more to come from her. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. And I think having this season in the Super League as well with Bristol will be massive for her. She's playing week in, week out at the highest level. And I think that will develop her game naturally. Plus, she's getting the opportunities here with Wales. OK, she'd like to probably start more. But I think all these moments will add up. And as Lauren Smith said, her pace is frightening. And if you have that in football, you've got a really good chance.
And Bristol seems to be a home from home in a way, because you have all those Welsh players there. And there's a nice community where she can thrive on the pitch.
Yeah, there's a long history of Welsh players who've gone through Bristol City, Bristol Academy, and then gone on to, you know, bigger things. But it seems like a great environment. She gets on really well with Lauren Smith, who's doing wonders there. So, yeah, it's great to see her thriving at such a great club.
Are you expecting to see her then in that second half? Or do you think Gemma Granger might stick to the tried and tested, which is working out there at the moment?
I think we'll see it stay the same for the time being. As we know with Gemma, there's not likely to be a wholesale changes early on in the second half. But I think she's a natural replacement to come on with that pace and frighten the German backline. And I think also you mentioned, can they sustain the pressure that they're having? Maybe not, so then she's a natural person to come in for that.
We can see Ffion Morgan now warming up. Is that an indication, I wonder, that she's coming back on? They need to sustain it for 90 minutes. Will that be the chat in the changing room right now?
Yeah, because we've seen in the away fixture, we conceded quite early on, so it's just making sure we stay in the game and keep doing well what we're doing, so pressing, organising, communicating, because we don't want all that good work now just to be wasted in the first 10 minutes if we concede an early goal.
For now, thank you very much. And as the players are warming up, it gets very, very complicated here. We are leaving BBC Two Wales, but don't panic, the second half is over on BBC One Wales. So grab your remote controls, come with us, press 1, and we'll see you on the other side.